Hi, hello to everyone. My name is Lydia Epic. I am so thrilled to have you here and in this time because this is really a space for those who are wanting to talk business. And it's something that we get to do kind of on the general kind of surface piece, but I feel like being able to really go deep with individuals as to why it is that they do their business and the special and unique qualities and talents that they bring to their business is something that we just don't talk about enough. So as much as we're talking business, it's really talking personal stories and what gives us the drive to do what it is that we do. So I am extremely thrilled to have Stacey Lloyd Vincent. And she's here. And she is joining us on her birthday of all days, you guys, on her birthday. I mean,
Yep.
just she's so amazing.
What better place
Um,
to be?
She's so fun. And so, as we're here, we're going to be chatting about how she got started with Young Living. I'm giving you a little bit of her story. I will say some of this more so from a personal level because she and I became very well acquainted within our particular diamond group. So we're basically cross-line cousins. And so we spent 90 days in the thick of it.
And now we're back in another 90 days.
Exactly what we're doing.
We thought, why not do it again?
Why not? We'll just keep doing these. And so it was really, really wonderful in that time to see Stacey in action. She is a gold leader with, I guess, how large is your team at this point, if you don't mind me asking?
We are around 700-ish families.
Very cool.
Let's see,
Okay.
I'm looking.
Yeah. See, and
I'm not
so
a numbers girl, so
she's not a numbers
743.
girl, but then she's the one who's super organized. So she's a green and big
Yeah, not green. No. No, that's what everybody thinks. But then when they say,
Yeah.
well, you have all that, you have that spreadsheet and you have Trello, and I'm like,
Mm,
yeah, and I have 10 other organizational tools that I got halfway through too. So it appears
exactly.
I'm green, not so much, more blue.
Yeah. Understood. Yeah. And what I love about Stacey's story is that she does just that. She enjoys just creating and weaving the stories of just her life and bringing that to her page, whether it's through Facebook or on Instagram. And then, of course, you've started utilizing stories more, which is super cool.
Yep.
And so just seeing that whole process, and because that makes when you see her and you experience her, she's very relatable, very personable. And I know that's a lot of what's brought her that attractive force to her team. So without further ado, this is Stacey. Yay! So Stacey, tell us a little bit about yourself in terms of where you are, what you were doing before you got into Young Living, and yeah, how your journey got started.
Sure. So I live in North Carolina, just west of Charlotte, North Carolina.
Mhm.
And I live here with my husband of 19 years. I
Mm.
have been a licensed nurse for 20, I think I'm at 25 years. I've lost track.
Mhm.
And I actually just renewed my license for the first time without
Wow.
functioning as a nurse, which was very unusual.
Wow.
It was a little strange. I didn't know how to answer the questions. I'm like, I don't know how to answer this, but anyway, predominantly spent my time as a hospice nurse, but did do critical care
Mhm.
early on in my career.
Okay.
And I started with Young Living 4.5 years ago
Okay.
for sleep. I was having a lot of sleep issues and
Mm.
fell in love with it for way more than that.
Mm. Very
And I
cool.
have a
Very
fur
cool.
baby, two step girls, two step daughters,
Mm.
and two grandchildren.
Wow. That's so cool. So she's got a full package. And so I guess it's interesting that you said that you started with lavender, but now 4.5 years later, you have 700 people that are also with you. So
Mm-hmm.
what created that jump from, okay, cool, this helps me with my sleep, to now you're helping other individuals for whatever their needs are?
I think it's just that I fell in love with it so much, and it was my gateway oil drug, as I call it, was lavender and frank
Yes,
from the
the good
box. But then
ones.
I
Yeah.
quickly went to vetiver and cedarwood with it also, and
Oh, yeah.
supplements. And
Mm-hmm.
when you have a life change, then you
Mm-hmm.
just can't keep it to yourself. And it wasn't that I was going out and just like knocking
Mm-hmm.
on doors and saying, y'all need this. I was just
Mm-hmm.
using it authentically in my everyday life because I fell
Mm-hmm.
so in love with all the products that,
Mm-hmm.
you know, people started to see a change in me and they smelled me. So I'd be at work and I'd have my diffuser necklace on and I'm a hugger. I don't have any,
Oh.
I don't
Mm-hmm.
understand personal space. So I hug everybody. I've gotten a little better about asking because
Oh, good.
I did have a
Mm-hmm.
friend kind of seem like she wanted to like shrink into the wall one time when I hugged her. So I learned to ask if it was okay for her.
Very
But they would hug me and they'd go, what is that? And this was 4.5 years ago. So, I mean, we've been around
wow.
25 years, but 4.5 years
Yeah.
ago, it was a little
Mm-hmm.
hokey to be using these little bottles of dripping oils. Like, it wasn't a normal thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, it
Mm-hmm.
was very curiosity based and it wasn't intentional. I mean,
Okay.
I was the queen of having a pampered chef party and all my friends would come and
Mm-hmm.
we would just all get excited. We would just all buy things. So,
Ah,
I wasn't
okay.
intending for
Mm-hmm.
anybody to get what I had. It literally was, I was authentically just using them because I was stressed at work and I was rolling stress away. I was talking in front
Mm-hmm.
of, a classroom of new hires, a new group every month. And I
Mm-hmm.
was nervous because I seem like I'm very outgoing, but when I get in a room of people I don't know, I get
Mm-hmm.
anxious. I did that on my stories last night about an event I
Mm-hmm.
went to, and I knew
That's
nobody,
right.
and I like hid in the
Yeah.
bathroom and I was like drowning myself in white angelica, in
Nice.
valor, in stress away,
Yes.
anything in my bag. I was
Mm-hmm.
just like, what have I
Mm-hmm.
done? Why did I sign up for this? I know nobody. So I think
Exactly.
we appear one way, but
Mm-hmm.
I get power from the oils. I mean, and from my Jesus, our
Mm-hmm.
Jesus, I mean, like
Yes, exactly.
that's my
Yes,
major power. But he gave us these
exactly.
plant juice bottles.
Yes.
And
Mm-hmm.
I was very skeptical when I first started. I was that nurse that
Mm-hmm.
said, there ain't no way that that little 5 ml bottle is going to
Yep.
do what Ambien's doing for me. But I
Wow. Yeah.
hated the Ambien. So,
Mm.
when
Yeah,
something's not working, you'll try something. So,
exactly. Yeah. And I think that ends up being a huge kind of flip over for many is the fact that they're using something that's synthetic and they're going, I'm using it, but it's not working.
hmm
And I'm tired and I want something that works. And so, like you're saying, people
yeah.
get to that
And I
point where they're
don't
just,
want to be hungover. I
oh,
didn't want to
yeah.
I would take Ambien
Hmm.
like once every few weeks just to get, and it was like a third of one. Like I would cut it. I had a pill cutter. I'm a
Wow.
nurse. So I had a pill cutter and I would
Hmm.
cut it as small as I could and just wanted to get one
Hmm.
night of sleep. So it'd get my immune
Wow.
system back up and I would not be cranky and I would be rested. And
Hmm.
that next night I would feel like I would need it again. And I hated that feeling. And that's what sent me over the
Yeah.
edge when I was like, this is just
Mm.
not, I don't take meds. I don't like to take pills. And
Yeah.
you know, that's where it's like, okay. And so, when you're authentically changed by something,
Hmm.
it just it's like when you first find Christ,
Yeah.
when you first find
Hmm.
Jesus and you're just like,
Hmm.
holy goodness, like, oh
Yeah.
my gosh, your eyes are shining and we still shine, but
Hmm.
you're
Yeah.
so excited and you're on fire and you
Hmm.
don't really understand it, but
Hmm.
you know that everybody needs it. And that's how it
Exactly.
was, and it still is with the oils. I mean, that's how I'm the oily girl because
Yeah.
I don't hide it. And it's not that I'm going around like rolling my Valor because I want people to buy Valor. Like I'm rolling it
Hmm.
because I'm overwhelmed in a room full of people I don't know.
Yeah.
And people are like, what is that? So
Exactly.
that's how it
So,
started. I mean, that's not how I got to 743 families, but that
yeah.
definitely is how it started.
Very cool. Very cool. And I was going to say, I mean, even as you're talking about this whole process, and I have to say, so as you guys are watching this, if you are loving this, be sure to let your friends know because this is such great stuff. And I love Stacey's ability to weave in and to create these stories because that's part of that connection. And I was going to say, for you, when you started 4.5 years ago, as a creative, were there pieces of Young Living's culture that really kind of resonated with you? Because I wasn't necessarily a part of Young Living in that way
Right.
from that side of things. And so did you realize that there was a need for more creativity in terms of storytelling, or was there already kind of a building culture of that you
You
just plugged
know,
into?
um, I am very aware. I love social media and I'm on it a lot, especially Facebook, trying to love
Hmm.
Instagram. Not quite there
Hmm.
yet, working on it.
Hmm. Yeah.
But I'm very aware of how people's posts come
Hmm.
across to me on social media.
Hmm.
And when I feel like somebody is posting a product constantly to try to sell it
Hmm.
to me,
Hmm.
I tend to move away from that person. Um, or not away, but I mean, I don't unfollow them, but I don't gravitate to them. The
Hmm.
people I gravitate to in anything are
Hmm.
people that share authentically their story
Yeah.
and what has changed, and not with the intention to sell me something, just because they want to share
Mm.
it. And I'm part of a rally community here,
Hmm.
with crossline leaders who are, there's several that are amazing storytellers. And so as I've come to get to know them as leaders and I follow
Hmm.
them, that's who I'm drawn to. So if I'm
Mm.
drawn
Okay.
to them and I'm repelled by people who are just posting, and I'm not saying Young Living, I'm saying any product that's just
Yes,
posting a
true.
picture of a skincare graphic that the
Hmm.
company made and posted on a place for everybody to take it, and
Yeah.
I'm not repelled, but I moved away. I'm not intrigued by that, but I am
Hmm.
intrigued by this person with this story, then
Hmm.
that's why I want to be that person. And so I think
Hmm.
I didn't force myself there. It just started to happen. And it's some days I'm better at it than others. Some
True.
days
True.
I just am not there some days, and I don't like to
Mm.
force it out. So I just let it be.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. And I was going to ask about that because so much of what we do, we want to be able to move with that spontaneity and to have
Hmm.
just kind of this is what's happening in my day. But then it feels like in some cases we have to almost kind of craft those moments, if that makes sense, or somehow, yeah, just create those moments. And so is that did you intend for storytelling to become part of your business style,
It
or
just
was it
kind of
just kind of, oh, I
I
was gonna
think it
say,
just kind of happened. And I think because I'm a scrapbooker, I'm an old
yes,
scrapbooker,
I was
card
gonna ask about that.
maker, crafter.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, so I think like the Allie Edwards of the world, who is a big scrapbooker,
Mm,
digital
yeah.
mostly now. I
Hmm.
think that because of my background with knowing her and knowing her
Hmm.
stories, and
Hmm.
because of how I'm drawn to them, I think it's that like creative edge that, mm, I'm drawn to typing the stories. Like
Gotcha.
there's some stories I think, at least for me, I can't just like boop
Hmm.
boop 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 a story out of my head a lot of times.
Yeah.
I
Hmm.
need, for the bigger stories that I'm telling, I need to be in a space where I'm not distracted. I'm very blue, so I'm
Yeah.
very easily distracted in my own
Yeah. I
mind.
get it.
Like my
Yeah, yeah.
coach was asking me this week to figure out
Hmm.
what distracts me, and I was working on that today, and I'm like, it's my own mind. Like
Yes.
the
Hmm.
squirrels, it's a real
Yeah.
problem. And so
Hmm.
we have a camper in Chimney Rock, and I love to go up
Hmm.
there. And my
Hmm.
husband doesn't always get why this is important, but I
Yeah.
like to go up there and for the bigger stories to be there off grid a little bit and write.
Mm.
And
Very
when I'm
cool.
ready, those stories come out.
Very
The
cool.
bigger
Very.
ones, the smaller ones I can,
Hmm.
do on the fly at the coffee shop. But
Yeah. But yeah, when you're really wanting to create that larger picture, that's so cool. Yeah. And I
yeah,
think
some of the bigger things.
and even with that, I guess it's the fact that you're willing to take out the time to pause and to think and reflect in that way.
Mhm.
When we're in so much of a culture where it's easy to move in I just need to keep hustling. And
Mhm.
and you know me, in terms of different words, you're using this word. What does this word mean?
Right.
And it's very easy for this idea of hustle to be you just are moving. You don't necessarily know what you're doing, but it's supposed to be focused movement towards something. But then it is important to have those times of just resting and reflecting and really taking in where you are and really evaluating that with where you're going. And I have to say that's something that I really, really admire about you, what you bring to your business. Because she really did hide out in a camper for about a week, you guys. It was just
I
where
did.
she
I
could
really did.
go.
I could live in it. I did it during grad school when I was doing my practicum. I lived in it for like a week or two at a time, and I could do
Oh,
it over
wow.
and over and over again. And
Yeah.
I think something just came to me. You said something
Mhm.
that kind of made me
Yeah.
crap. See, there's that squirrel thing.
Just
It went away.
squirrel.
Goodness, it'll come back, I'm sure.
Yeah, you got it. And I was going to ask in terms of that process going from distributor just with your kit, or really, I shouldn't say distributor just with your kit, because when you started and you went, oh, wait, I should do this as a business. Were you at Star? Were you at Senior
I was
Star?
a star. So I had my
Okay.
kit for um, 2 years
Mhm.
before I intentionally started teaching
Mhm.
classes. I had
Wow.
members at that point.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
think I had like 22 members before I started teaching classes. I had
Okay.
had a class here that I begged my enroller, or it actually ended up being my now platinum leader to come teach because I didn't know anything. But all my
Wow.
friends were asking, and I was like, please come
Mhm.
tell these people. I just
Yeah.
can tell them it works. I don't know the
Mhm.
science behind it. So I'd had a
Mhm.
class early on where I had 6 friends, I think, get kits. And
Yeah.
sporadically I'd had friends get kits, but I
Mhm.
wasn't intentionally doing the business for 2 years. And
Mhm.
honestly, the game plan showed up in my news feed
Mm.
by Sarah
Mhm.
Harnish, and I don't know,
Mhm.
I guess it had to be God. Like it just
Mhm.
popped in there, and I
Mhm.
thought that's kind of intriguing, and I went and looked at it on
Mhm.
Amazon,
Yeah.
ended up buying it, and I read it in like a week. I read almost all of it in a weekend, and I don't
Wow.
read. I am not a big reader. Squirrels, I
Mhm.
can't focus long enough.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
that book captured me, and I started doing everything she said in it. I mean, I was a really busy person. Like I was
Yeah.
working full time as a nurse educator. I just finished my
Mhm.
graduate degree. I was in
Mhm.
my dream job that I never thought I would have. I went to school
Yeah.
for graduate just for me,
Wow.
in case a door opened up. So was
Mhm.
in my dream job.
Mhm.
I was coordinating a very large event, craft and vendor event that I did
Mhm.
twice a year with one of my best friends. I'm a
Yeah.
vendor at that event, or was,
Oh,
and it was
wow. Yeah.
the second busiest month of my year is March,
Mhm.
and that's when I
Mhm.
started teaching classes. And
Oh.
so I was star, and I went star to executive that month. I taught 3 classes that month.
Wow.
But
Wow.
people had watched me. This is what I think I
Yeah.
have figured out with some of
Mhm.
my builders now that are wanting this so bad.
Yeah.
I had 2 years of people watching and smelling me. So when I
Mm.
started
Cool.
teaching classes and would
Yeah.
tell on social media I was doing it, they were like, "Oh, I've been watching you," you know. So
True.
I think people who get a kit and go, "Well, I want this business," they can totally have this business, but they may
Mhm.
not have that same trajectory I had, or others
Mhm.
that where you've
Mhm.
built that trust already because they'd seen me for
True.
2 years. I wasn't hopping on and
Yeah.
off from product to product to product to company to company
True.
to company. I was with
True.
just this. So
Mhm.
I think that helped a lot.
Very cool. Very cool. And I think even with that, with the way that you would post about things, it wasn't with that idea of, for those 2 years of, oh yeah, I'm just gonna, show this really cool bottle that I'm using for the purpose of advertising it like that. It
Mm-mm.
was this is just what I'm doing and it's
Right.
helping me. Okay. Very cool.
Yeah,
And
very
so
much.
and with that, I guess it is also fair to say that for the community that you are in, you are the oils girl. I mean, you're the
I'm one
oily
of
queen.
them. My team is becoming the oily team in town, I think.
Ooh, that's great. That's even better. That's
We're in a
even better.
small town. We're in a very
Yeah.
small town. So several
Yeah.
businesses are on our team. Um,
Yeah.
and yeah, so we're kind of the oily. group in
Yeah.
town. It was a little sticky when we first started because, this
Mm.
person would enroll and it's like, okay, you're friends with these 25 people that I'm friends with, and
Yeah.
10 of them run my group. Like, who do you want to be? Like, where to put people without making anybody mad?
Mad. Yeah,
And it's
true.
kind of evened out now. I think God has kind of worked it all out. And I
Oh,
had to
good.
just let a lot of that go because
Yeah.
people are going to be attracted to the person they're attracted to. And as long as they have
Mhm.
oils in their lives and their lives are changed,
Yeah.
let
Mission
God
accomplished.
take care of it. Yeah. But it's a little
Exactly.
sticky in a small town.
Yeah. 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 Because I remember a friend of ours went and actually was visiting you in town. I guess it was going to one of the
Oh,
different, I was,
Samantha,
yeah, it was Samantha. I
my
don't
coffee
remember if
shop.
it was your coffee shop. Okay. And so she just, yeah, I walk in and I see a diffuser and I'm just, Stacey's been here. You know, it's
Oh,
like,
she was
and
at the
there are
bar
different
and grill
places.
down the street,
That's what I was gonna say. I think
and
she was at
she
the
was at a
human place.
meeting and she saw the diffuser,
Hmm.
and the
Yeah.
mom of the band that owns that place is
Hmm.
she had gotten a starter kit for him. She's one of my
Wow.
members, and
Yeah.
she does the bookkeeping and everything at his. Yes, so there's a diffuser at
Yeah.
like 3 places in town. They're all mine. They're all my
Which
people.
is
I love
which
them.
is really crazy. I mean, just to know that, yeah, I mean, that's what she is set up and that's what you do. And so
Hmm.
you are known as a person. So when they ask, oh, what's that? Then it starts a whole conversation that then moves into, oh yeah, you can get plugged in and here's all these different resources. Um, and I was going to say with the fact that you're always in that place of going and growing, what is it that you enjoy most about what you do now in your business? Because you said you were in your dream job before. And so is
Hmm.
this kind of your slightly dream job?
Oh,
Or
this is beyond. Yeah, this is so
yeah.
much more than I ever and the way it
Hmm.
transitioned out of the other dream job was just I couldn't do it all anymore. And
Mm.
when I looked at all the things, what did I like? What was going to be the thing that I missed the
Hmm.
least? And
Mm.
honestly, God led me that nursing was the thing I would miss the least, which was
Wow.
absolutely crazy to think of that.
Hmm.
But um, now I am in my dream job, and
So cool.
I love every day. I mean, not that there's not, it's
Hmm.
a mostly women group, I
Yeah.
mean, we have a lot of men now and a lot of
Hmm.
spouses, but most of them
Yeah.
are not, most of them have kits just so we can have more kits in the house.
Yeah.
But, there are more men involved now.
Yeah.
But when there's women, you're going to have tough situations that you have to, think through and pray through.
Hmm.
But you have that everywhere. And
Hmm.
the fact that I can work wherever, and I
Hmm.
work hard. I choose to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, I love what I do so much that I could do it 24/7. And we've talked about this when we were in the
Yeah.
accountability run.
Yeah.
And that's something I've really had to learn to not back away from, but
Yeah.
to have time away from it because I
Hmm.
literally can do social media like all day long, and I love connecting.
Yeah.
I love getting
Hmm.
um I love the community of people. So
Yeah.
um yeah, this is a dream job. Like, yeah.
Yeah. So good. And so do you feel like in that process of figuring out flow that it's been one where yes, because I feel like after you went on your create retreat, and this is just kind of going kind of into the nitty gritty. So I know
Mhm.
that when you went on your create retreat and then came back and were kind of reviewing the ways that you were doing life, because we're both in that workaholic kind of, I mean, I'm just going to call it for myself. I don't know what you are. I know that I am a workaholic no matter what it is that I'm working on. Just, ugh. So being in that place where you're now not necessarily balancing, but you're choosing to be present in more than one area,
Mhm.
not at the same time, but deciding um, to make time to be present with your family, and then make time to be present for your business, and then make time to be present for yourself. What is that? Um, what does that kind of transition look like for you? Was it easier than you thought? Was it kind of stressful, or yeah, just in terms of
And it
that?
still is. I mean, it's a
Mhm.
daily challenge because of loving it
Mhm.
so much.
Yeah.
And because of, the FOMO, fear of missing out if I don't have my my phone in front of me. Um,
Mhm.
and I think that's one reason I love being at the camper for chunks of time,
Mhm.
because I can do it easier up there, because we have a signal, not much,
Mhm.
and we have the store that we can go and get internet,
Mhm.
well. But I'm forced a little bit more to kind of just unwind and not be on everything all the time.
Mhm.
Um, but for me, what's helping is not every night of the week, because evenings are
Mhm.
when I need to be in touch with people a lot of
Sure.
times. But
Mhm.
I at least try a couple nights a week to not have the phone with me, at least for
Mhm.
an hour or two.
Okay.
It's a transition, and
Yeah.
I fail big time a lot. I and I get
Yeah.
this little. I love Mark Vincent.
Yeah.
I get this little, like, we'll have like date night of like Monday, which is just,
Mhm.
I don't plan a class, I don't plan to go
Mhm.
somewhere. Usually we're
Yeah.
still at home. It's not like this
Mhm.
big. We've been married 19 years. It's not this big. Let's go out, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's usually just hang out, watch TV. Air
Mhm.
disasters. I'm never gonna get in an airplane ever again. But so I kind of like laid the groundwork of, like, if we go out to eat,
Mhm.
no phones. And I'm like telling myself this a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I'm
Mhm.
talking to myself big time, and
Mhm.
no computers and all that. And I'm
Mhm.
not a TV watcher, so I'll
Yeah.
go into the
Exactly.
living room and I'll leave my devices,
Mhm.
and I'm sitting here watching Sheldon or air disasters or the news or whatever, which is not my love language at
No.
all, but I'm doing it. And he's got his
Mhm.
laptop, and I'm like, and so I'll get mine, and I won't be working. I'm not working. Like, I'm just scanning Facebook or whatever. And
Yeah.
um and he'll say something about my laptop, and I'm like, but you've got yours. And he's like, but I'm not working. And I'm like, well, I'm not
Not
either.
working
Like, how do you
either.
communicate that when it's hard to know a line?
Yeah.
It's hard to share that line of, because if
Yeah.
I'm on the computer, I may not be
Mhm.
working, but something might
Yeah.
pop up and I'm going to
Exactly.
respond. So it's that,
Mhm.
like, he's playing on his, but I can't, I,
Yeah.
it's a work in progress.
I was gonna say I'm seeing puzzles and board games in your future. I'm just saying.
No, he won't. He's not a game player.
Oh no.
He's a TV watcher.
Oh
He doesn't like to exercise.
no. Oh,
I mean, we're like,
polar opposites. That's so beautiful. But see that at the same time, it's a
you
whole
see it
different
as beautiful. I
dimension.
see the struggle.
It's a struggle, but it's a beauty of being in that marriage and that connection with one another, because there are, yeah, it's an interesting interplay with the two.
hmm
And even as much as it's kind of figuring that out with your own home, I guess, how does that then, in terms of culture, how does that translate to your team? Because you are working hard, and I know some of your leaders are also just making
And
it
that's
happen.
something I've really tried to work on. All right, not try. I am working on it. And it's been a conversation with my coach I've been working with
Yeah.
about the perception, not just from my
Mhm.
members and users and
Mhm.
leaders, but just from
Mhm.
like everyday life people, my
Mhm.
friends just out there. Their
Mhm.
perception, I hear it all the time. I know
Yeah.
you're so busy, but, and I'm like, I'm
Exactly.
not.
Right. Yeah.
I'm not. But
Mhm.
because I am on social media a lot, I post
Mhm.
pictures like crazy. I
Mhm.
love to show, like, just life and the
Mhm.
beauty of it and the excitement and the fun.
Mhm.
But the perception
Mhm.
is that I'm busy. And I mean, not
Yeah.
that I'm not busy and not that I don't work hard, but I play
Mhm.
hard too. And so
Yeah. Yeah.
that's what we've been working on, that how to shift that
Mm.
perception. And that was part of my
Yeah.
homework this week too. And
Ah.
it's about being present, like you said, is
Mhm.
figuring out what my distractions are
Mhm.
and being present wherever I am. And
Mm.
for a very 40-something% blue brain, that's
Mm-hmm.
really, really challenging.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah.
So we're working on it.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how far I got this week with it, but I got better. But
Exactly.
I think
Mm-hmm.
that's the thing that I think all of us, whether we're doing this as a
Mm-hmm.
business or we're working in another business,
Mm-hmm.
anything that we do that we thrive at, it
Yeah.
can become our God. And that's something that's really important that
Exactly.
it's not.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Mm-hmm.
I only serve one God, and that's got to
Mm-hmm.
be apparent. And then
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
also have to realize, I can't fix perceptions that other people
Oh
have.
yeah. Oh yeah. Oh
And I
yeah.
am a very busy person. Like, I like to be busy. I like to be
Mm-hmm.
all over the place, and that's that blue
Mm-hmm.
personality. Um,
True.
so, there's
Mm-hmm.
that fine line of how much do you really work overboard to
Mm-hmm.
change. I don't think I can change that perception, but I can the pieces that affect me that I know
Mm-hmm.
I need to improve on, I can work on for me, not
Yeah.
because I want somebody to think of me in a different way. But I don't want people to
Mm-hmm.
think I'm too busy for, like you've said, I know you've said it. I know you're
Yes.
busy today, Stacey, but, and I'm like, no,
I have.
not.
And honestly, it's because for the individuals that I am seeing in that place of, you're gold and you're moving to platinum, or you're silver and you're
Mm-hmm.
moving to diamond, or however it is that
Mm-hmm.
people are moving, it's it's respecting the fact that they are in that season, in that place where they're really, really focused with their time and how they're wanting to move
Right.
forward in productivity.
And
But
it is. It's
like,
that you wanting to be respectful is what it
yeah,
is. It's not,
yeah.
it's you not wanting to feel like you're taking time away from my personal business. But
Mm-hmm.
as you know, my love of Crossline goes deep.
Yeah,
Like, I
exactly.
like
Yeah.
seeing Jill on call in Las Vegas,
Oh
like,
yeah.
was the biggest thing in that whole weekend. And I
Right.
literally, I don't know if you saw that post, but she like came out. I literally said, I can't believe I have not seen Jill on call. And out she comes. And I'm like,
What?
what? But I love her
Yeah.
spirit of
Yeah.
Crossline, and my rally people
Mm-hmm.
here, my leaders in the rally.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going on a Crossline leader retreat next weekend with Beth Wicker
Nice.
and them. I mean,
Very
I
cool.
just, those leaders that
Mm-hmm.
feed Crossline are
Mm.
my heart. And like,
Yeah.
I love that. Like, that's my jam. So
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I do have to put priority in certain things, but
Mm-hmm.
cross lines are part of my, I mean, that's a priority too,
Very
because
cool.
y'all are my
Very
friends.
cool.
Like,
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many friends I have from just choosing to do this as a business. It's just,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
it's incredible.
It's incredible. Yeah. I was gonna say that's the I know for me, if there was a catch slogan, I would say it's you come for the oils, but you stay for the people. Because of,
Yes. I
because
could
that's
do this
what
for free.
happens.
I would do this for
Yeah.
free. Like, I
Yeah,
love it.
exactly. And it's just all these different just individuals from across the world, literally,
Hmm.
that have just such a great heart and desire and a passion to do this,
Hmm.
whether it's for improving health, or being more chemical free, or just being able to walk in different areas of freedom, and
Hmm.
just all those different pieces all pulling together,
Yeah.
creating this space. And so even though, we do it differently, and we're in different geographical locations, and we're at different places even in our growth, there is still just such beauty in all of us working together. And I know for me, it was a little bit, um, it's a little overwhelming. It's a little shocking. I mean, I'm just going to be honest, because it's just, but you're trying to do your thing, and technically that means that we're in competition. It's just, no, that's not. There may be some that have that thinking, but that's not the general populace
Right.
feel within this business, within this company,
No.
which really, really blows me away. It's really, really awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it is
And I
good.
was
And
going to
I know
say,
what,
mhm,
earlier
yeah,
I couldn't remember what I was going to say earlier, and
yeah,
the squirrel got it. The
yeah.
hustle word. I don't like the word hustle. Um, it gives me like a negative connotation
Mm-hmm.
because I just
Understood.
feel like consistent, steady work is what will get you to Royal
Mm,
Crown Diamond. And
yeah,
it's not
yeah.
about the rank. People have stopped asking me my goal for when I'm going to be platinum, and that's good because it's it's going to happen when it happens. I'm doing the
Mm-hmm.
work. I'm
Yeah.
loving my peeps. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I'm sharing the wellness,
Yeah.
and my focus is not on a starter kit. It's on the wellness
Mm,
of the people around me and them
yeah.
catching the desire for it. And
Mm-hmm.
um, you know, platinum's gonna
Mm-hmm.
happen. It's
Yeah.
just, so I don't like the word, like that word hustle just kind of sometimes,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I feel you. Yeah, I know the word that tends to get me is busy actually, and I'm so sorry that I've said that to you because
Everybody
I
does. It's
decided,
okay.
yeah, I decided that 2019, I'm just done with the word busy because
Yeah.
it feels really erratic and scattered and without
Mm-hmm.
focus and without purpose. It's just, I know you're busy. It's just, I'd rather be productive than busy.
Yeah.
Just let's go somewhere. Busy doesn't feel like it has a direction. It's
Uh-uh.
just,
Uh-uh.
yeah, and that's just, we're not trying to do that.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. And then speaking in terms of your particular purpose and your particular why, I know yes, you've walked through your 7 level why in terms of,
Yeah, I on Create Retreat. I was actually looking back at it tonight. It's in my
oh,
Create book.
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's so good. Okay. And so if you're willing, you can either just cut to the chase, or if you're willing to walk through that, that would be incredible. For those of you who aren't familiar with what a 7 level why is, it's basically asking the question of, you want to do a particular goal or yeah, you have a particular goal or a particular direction that you're wanting to go in. And so it's asking the question, why? Meaning, why is that important to you? Why is it that you want to do that? And being willing to take each and every answer and to put it in that place. So why is fill in the blank important? Why is it
Mm-hmm.
significant to you? And as you're doing that, really drilling down to that place where you have that why. Some people call it the why that makes you cry, or the why that gives you drive,
And
however
I'll
you
probably
want to
start
say it.
out crying in the beginning because I know what the end result.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So go
Yeah.
for it. Yeah.
So just a little backstory that I didn't share as part of my conversion to doing the business.
Mhm.
um, so when I started teaching classes, I had other thoughts for the extra income and what it would support. Um,
Mhm.
Mark and I had been through some stuff together, and the week I started teaching classes, suddenly, unexpectedly, like no warning, lost his job. Suddenly, he's never lost a job. Um,
Mhm.
so um, through that, it healed some of the things that we had been facing.
Mhm.
Um, And so when I started out, my why was much different than what it is now. Not that we're in a perfect
Mhm.
world.
Yeah. Yeah.
We, we are very different, he and I. I mean, I was just thinking that tonight, like
Mhm.
wellness wise, we are going such different directions. And,
Wow.
um, yeah, we just,
Mhm.
I'm trying to do everything I can to be well. And sometimes it
Mhm.
just seems to be kind of the opposite.
Mhm.
And, um, so with that
Mhm.
being said,
Mhm.
um, that will kind of help with my why as I'm going through the 7 steps to understand some of what I say. And I'm not going to go into detail
Yeah.
about what we were going through.
Yeah.
I'm seeing some pop in just that are friends from my public page that aren't in our group. So just because I think
Mhm.
we're public, I'm just not going to go into detail about
Oh yeah.
stuff,
No.
but
No need. Yeah. Yeah. No need.
I would if we're in a little more closed. But
Yeah. No worries.
so
Yeah.
but that just kind of gives a little of a background to the why. So,
Mhm.
starting out, you ask yourself, what's your goal for your business? Write it down. And so, and I was on the Create Retreat doing this. And
Mhm.
so my answer was platinum this year, 3 months in a row. And then my next question was, why is this my goal? Because platinum income, of course, I have to be able to read my writing, which is a challenge, would bring Mark freedom. So it brought him freedom. Why do I want freedom for Mark? So he can find himself again and find joy in life. Why is it important for me that Mark find himself and joy? Because I want to experience my freedom and joy with him as a couple. Why do I want Mark and I to experience freedom and joy together? Because I want to feel back to where we were before as far as closeness. And so I keep going through that. And I actually got to level 8 before I got to where it was. So it kept kind of going through a vicious circle about the freedom and the joy with Mark thing. And so why do I want to experience that with him? And I said, because I feel guilty for the joy and freedom I get to experience. And I do have some anger for some of the things that happened in the years before that are some of the things from our life were, I feel, kind of stolen because of situations. And I want us back. So my initial why, because platinum income would bring Mark freedom. And I basically, like, when I mean freedom, I don't want to bring Mark home from work. You know, he's a hard worker. He'll joke and say he's ready to retire any day. But that's not him, honestly. If he was to be honest, I don't think that's him. What I want, and Jerry Ann Joyner said it best at Rally, that she wanted her husband to be able to say yes to what he wanted to say yes to and no to what he wanted to say no to. And so a slower pace for him where he doesn't have to worry about paying our insurance, that we could pay it, you know, if we had to personally, or he could have a job that paid insurance but didn't pay, you know, a great income. So, you know, it takes it from there to, I want us back. And I feel like the freedom of platinum will do that. But, you know, I mean, looking at that, you also have to realize there's still so many dimensions of what has gone on in the past that we still, you know, we'll need to work through. So.
Understood. And I was going to say, the incredible piece about, you know, Young Living as a company and with essential oils, I mean, it feels a little cliche that we really have an oil for just about everything. I mean,
including freedom.
Including freedom. There you go. Thank you. Very nice.
Which I've been oiling up with tonight.
I love it. It's even, I guess, for you in terms of just the emotions that you've been processing and working through. Are there particular tools you would not mind sharing with us or sharing with others who may be in that place business wise where it's that place of I want to grow because, and then they drill down and realize that it's because there's other areas that they're wanting to resolve that really, yes, having the growth will help with that in terms of the financial growth or the business growth, but it really is in a place of finding that emotional healing and that wholeness, and just moving in that process of healing and restoration. Are there different tools that you wouldn't mind sharing that you've been incorporating to help?
Well, product wise, the feelings kit is pretty incredible, and I actually want to go back through it. I did the Freedom kit recently when we were able to get that, but I want to go back through the feelings kit for 30 days because it's so important. The emotions and where we hold them can so lead to disease. So it's freedom for us when we learn to walk through those things, and it's not easy things to walk through. And it's not easy, you know, there's things that I know about myself that I need to change. So, you know, that's product wise. Investing in yourself, like if there's something where you feel like you're being held back and you're stuck, and I hate that word because we're not stuck, you know, you're just in certain seasons. But if you feel like literally like there's something just going on that you need to figure out, a life coach. So I've been working with one through Grow dot, we always say Grow period,
Yeah.
because there's Grow Workspace and then there's Grow
Mhm.
period.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Ella, I've been working with for a little over a month now. And I
Mm-hmm.
invested in that. And,
Mm-hmm.
that's important to me. I reinvest a lot of my income
Mm-hmm.
into personal development, um, whether it be going somewhere, something on the computer, or working with a coach of some sort. So working with some sort of a coach that can literally help you through some of that and can figure out what's going on. I mean, because Ella, I swear she's like in my head when I'm on the phone with her. I swear she's in my head. Some of the things she has said, I'm just like,
Mm-hmm.
wow, yeah. Because walking through those really hard patches, you come out
Mm-hmm.
on the other side a better person.
Yeah.
And the business is gonna, it's gonna be there.
Mm. Yeah.
But you want to protect yourself and protect your marriage and make sure that you're doing things, the way
Mm-hmm.
you're supposed to. And that's why I say rank doesn't matter to me. I'd love to be platinum and diamond, and I will be. But,
Mm-hmm.
one thing you asked me the other day was about,
Mm-hmm.
what was the biggest struggle going from silver to gold? And that was a question I
Yeah.
had a little hard time. I was pondering that tonight.
Mm-hmm.
And, you have to have some strong leaders to get to those next ranks. You can hit silver by
Mm-hmm.
yourself. It's
Yeah.
hard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You teach a lot of classes all by yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but really from silver to gold and beyond, you have got to have some solid leaders. And what
Mm.
happened in from silver to gold that sent that over the edge for me is I have a leader, Jennifer Glass, and I think she was watching
Mm-hmm.
earlier,
Mm-hmm.
who had her starter kit for 8 months and did nothing with it. And I prayed over
Mm-hmm.
that woman. I left her at my level 1 for 8 months of her not buying a single thing beyond that starter kit because I just,
Wow.
something in me told me.
Mm-hmm.
And she, that November before I hit, she just got intrigued by the business and
Mm-hmm.
started enrolling people and
Yeah.
hit executive, like, I think in 1 month.
Yeah.
I think it was a month.
Yeah.
And then hit
Mm-hmm.
silver real quick. And, you
Mm-hmm.
know, that propelled me because
Yeah.
that was one of my I have two very strong enrollers that
Mm.
lead
Yeah.
strongly, and then I
Mm.
have others that move at a slower pace, and that's okay. They're
Yeah.
solid,
Mm-hmm. Very
um,
cool.
and they've all had
Mm-hmm.
different seasons through it, but that's really what got us to gold is
Yeah.
having that person hit silver,
Okay.
and
Wow.
Jennifer really catching the vision
Mm-hmm.
of what this could be for her family.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
yeah, so that I was thinking about that today. I'm like, I don't know, like what was the biggest? Well, it was because I
Mm-hmm.
didn't have enough, people that saw the vision of what this company can be and what the
Mm-hmm.
opportunity can do and the freedom it can bring.
Yeah. Yeah. Because at some point, I think it's really interesting that there is that shift from executive to silver of, like you said, you can reach silver literally by yourself. But number one, that's a whole lot of work. Two, it's not very
Yeah.
fun, and then
No.
three, it's not sustainable. And so if there are others that are watching you in that process, it's just, oh, okay, if I want to do what she's doing, I have to be willing to do this all by myself. It's just
Yeah,
no.
and when I went to silver, I tell you, when I
Hmm.
started teaching classes,
Hmm.
because I was following the game plan.
Hmm.
I started out with people running I mean, I had 8 people in a game plan boot camp with me
Wow.
that first
Wow.
summer. And so that's why I say
Hmm.
I have other builders that, are going at
Hmm.
their own pace. I mean, I've got one that owns a store
Mm.
that's got to be his priority. That's the bread and
Yeah.
butter. But
Yeah.
he and his wife do this together and they're just amazing. I love them.
Very
They're,
cool.
my executives, some of my executives. And I
Very cool.
have an executive who lost her husband suddenly. So, a season of life
Mm.
happens.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's just you have to, others have to see the vision. You have to
Mm-hmm.
provide that vision, and also
Mm-hmm.
make it, help them to realize it's not simple, but
Mm-hmm.
um, make it, what is Jordan Strand says, frictionless.
Yeah, make it
That's
frictionless. Yeah.
floating in my, that's been floating in my brain since she first said that.
Mm-hmm.
And Limelight opening up to everybody and us condensing into that space,
Oh yeah.
um, and being able to put friends in there that are interested in learning more, huge.
Mm-hmm. Super
um,
huge.
it's becoming frictionless if
Mm-hmm.
we allow it to. If we don't, if we allow it to transition, it's harder for some than others to
Mm-hmm.
transition there. But that's, I know for Deb, we were talking about what a weight has come off our shoulders, and it has. Like,
Yeah.
we can focus over in Limelight, and focus on our own business and focus on making it
Mm-hmm.
frictionless for people. And it's easy
Exactly.
now when somebody says, "How do I get more information?" I'm like, "Oh, girl, I need to plug you in to the Limelight and tag you to Tammy's 101 last night, because that thing was the
It
bomb.com.
was so
She
good. Oh
knocked
my
it out
goodness.
of the park." I want
Oh
everybody to
my
hear that.
word. It was so good.
Like,
And
I
that's right.
love
And
her
then for
classes.
those of you who are not familiar with the Limelight, so the Limelight is our Rising Crown Diamond group. And part of what we decided to do was to consolidate all of our strengths and our groups together, which has been really incredible because it's allowed for each of us as leaders, whether we're at star or even distributor, because you can still be a leader at distributor, or all the way
Mm-hmm.
up to, different golds and diamonds and platinums in the team, to be able to go in and to do education, to answer one another's questions, for just people who just use the oils and love them and aren't even
Mm-hmm.
thinking about doing it as a business, to be able to share their tidbits and their trips and their tricks and their tips and their hacks and all these various things. And it's been such a neat way for us to build that community space again. And it's been just, yeah, it's been really, really cool, especially when you have folk like Tammy, who is just
Yeah.
incredible at presenting certain types of classes. So
Yeah, I
101 is
think we just
definitely.
are able to use our giftings. I mean, like my fun
Mm-hmm.
post yesterday with the tips,
Yeah.
tricks, and hacks, like
Oh,
that's
that was
my
perfect.
type of post. To get
Mm-hmm.
on there and do a 101, I could do it, but
Mm-hmm.
Tammy is going to rock it more than I am. And that's
Yeah.
as a leader, when you're able to say that, I think
Mm-hmm.
that transparency is super important to those
Mm-hmm.
around you, that you realize that there's some that, like, I can rock a one-on-one appointment helping people to see what that box of oils is going to do.
Mm-hmm.
um, I can rock a fun one-on-one 101 where I dump my purse out and show what's in it,
Mm-hmm.
but to get on that page of 7,000 people and do that 101 and rock it like she did,
It's
she
okay.
she far exceeded what I would do. Far
Yeah.
exceeded.
You take it.
So
You take
yeah,
it.
I mean, but then I have, like, I love doing unboxing the ER because I love my
Exactly.
ER. So I
Which
did
is
that
super
today. So
cute.
you're able to pick, what your gifting is,
Mm-hmm.
and not feel like pigeonholed into, you need to do this and you need to do this for your group and you need to do that.
Exactly.
There's freedom there.
It's so good. And that's another F I think I would add to the list of doing it so that it's frictionless and provides freedom. That's
Yeah,
the goal. And I was gonna say, because we're right at time, so I know with some folk
we
if they're
are.
right at 9. I would love if
It's
you would
actually
not
10.
mind. Oh, that's right. It's 10 your time. It's not my time. Oh my gosh, you guys, you have to be getting to bed. It's a school night. Okay, so we'll do this really quick. So if there was someone who was on the fence about actively sharing, which, by the way, you guys, whenever I say actively sharing instead of building a business, it's because of this gal right there. Because we're just actively sharing, which takes so much of that edge off for people. Just, oh, okay, I can just share.
Mhm.
So if you had someone who was on the fence with that, Stacey, what would you say to them to encourage them to start?
I would encourage each of you to think about,
Mm-hmm.
what the worst thing is that could happen. I used to do
Mm-hmm.
Mary Kay, and I had $3,000 worth of product on a shelf.
Mm-hmm.
3000.
Mm-hmm.
And I still never had the shades that people wanted. I would always need to still do another order and get another shade of this or another formula of this. We have a $160, $165 box of oils that we need to start sharing. And you honestly, I mean, you need that for yourself.
Yeah.
But that gets your membership number. That's all you need to share. I don't know your family, Lydia, right? Well, I do kind of, but like your extended family. I don't know your friends. You don't know mine, except our close ones that we now know.
Exactly.
I don't know Betty Sue's sister and sister-in-law. Gary Young's goal was to get this wellness and these oils in abundance in everybody's house, everywhere, in every country. And so I can't do that by myself. You can't do that by yourself. So it's really important that, you know, if something is changing your life, and if it's not changing your life, you need to talk to one of us and let us come up with another wellness plan. Because if it's not if it is not rocking your world, we need a new plan. Honestly, you're not using them every day. Using them once a week or when you have a cold is not going to get it. It's not going to get it. Like when somebody has a kit for a year and hasn't ordered anything, I'm like, there is no way you are using these oils even every few days and still have that box. I mean, I order lemon every month. So if you're not getting rocked, if your world is not getting rocked enough that you want to share, at least with those that are like in your household extended family, we need a new plan. We need to figure out what you want to work on. And the Limelight is the place to go and read all these testimonies because I am learning things, and I've been doing this for 4.5 years. I'm like, oh, you can do that. I mean, Deb the other day with the Q-tip and the thieves. And I'm like,
so crazy.
And I've been telling everybody that now. I mean, I'm like, y'all, do you get sinus infections? You need to put thieves on a Q-tip, but you're not. So I would just say, you know, like, where are you now? And I'm not saying you, but like the people that are on the fence. Where are you now in life that there's something that's not the way you want it to be? Whether that's health and wellness, abundance, wanting to give out to other people and you don't have enough to do so. If it's the job you hate, if it's the hours you hate, what is it that you want to change and make better? And what's your plan for that? Because if you keep doing the same thing that you're doing now, it's kind of like Mark and I talk about selling this house and buying a small house up in the mountains and him getting a job up that way, you know, down the road when he gets closer to retirement. And it's like, okay, well, we've talked about that for like a year now. So if you continue to and don't like move in a direction, then it's just a dream. It's just a vision in your head. And so if there's nothing currently in your life that's getting you from point A to point B, why would you not try this? Why would you? And it's fear. It's so often fear. What are people going to think? And I'm over that. Like, not every day, except yesterday with all those strange people. Not strange people, but new people. Not strange. They were very nice. I met new friends. I have new friends. But a lot of times it's fear that holds us back. And it's, you know, it's a lot different than other companies out there where you are selling something. And I am selling oils. Like if somebody asks me, do you sell oils? I'm going to say, sure, yeah, I peddle them. Yeah, I sell them. But like but I don't say that like at the meet and greet last night when people asked. I'm like, you know, I help people with wellness with Young Living essential oils. And so it's so different than any other company out there because it's through our lifestyle of what's changed that we're changing other lives. And a lipstick from me and Mary Kay it made people feel prettier. I mean, I helped people feel prettier, but we weren't working deep down like this is getting cellular. Cellular
it is cellular.
People are getting off medicine with this stuff, you know. I mean,
oh my word!
I'm not telling y'all to get off your medicine. I didn't say get off your medicine.
You're just saying that for some people, that's
People
what's
are
happening.
though.
And it's
Talk to Pam
happening.
Bell.
Yes, and it's
Talk to
totally
Pam
happening.
Bell.
Yeah, Pam is
Yeah.
awesome. Pam is
Yeah, just
amazing.
taking a chance on it,
Hmm.
because what do you have to lose? $160? No, because you're using that for yourself. So you're
Yeah,
not out anything. Nothing.
true, true, true. So it's totally worth starting. Oh my gosh.
Mhm.
And so I will say thank you again so much for coming
Oh, thank you. I'm
on.
so honored
Like,
that you asked me to.
yeah, for sure. And doing so on your birthday, no less, which is just
You know, when
so.
you're 49 years old, it's just another day. It's just another
That's
day.
so
I mean,
cute.
honestly, I'm just thankful for another healthy year with good
Yeah.
test results. It's my brother and
Yeah.
I were talking about today. We're just happy for another healthy year.
Oh my goodness. Oh, and that's right. I forgot to tell you, I made a smoothie in your honor. It was delicious.
When are you doing the smoothie video in Limelight?
Yes, so we're going to have to figure that out as to when that will be because
Yes, we
I
know.
know
I need
because
new
I know it's
recipes. I'm
yeah,
still
we need
using the
more
same one.
recipes. I know. Oh my gosh. I know class wise. I mean, I have a couple in-person classes coming up. So I have a lunch and learn tomorrow in South Haven. We're talking women and hormones next week, Saturday on the 18th. And then the week after that, I have a really strong feeling we're going to be talking about teens, teen health and
Hmm.
wellness, which will be really awesome. But in the midst of that, I'm thinking I'm going to have to probably pick an afternoon and just do
Hmm.
it and just go on and
Good.
go, look, this is what you
I'm
do. Because I
ready.
promise you. Yeah, it's so good.
You're the
And
smoothie queen. You're the
and the thing is,
smoothie queen.
I think you're so sweet. I just put them together. And I think that's the thing. That's my thing. That's what I do. That's what I rock. And I'm all about it. So
Mhm.
yeah.
Well, I'm
Yay.
waiting to see it.
Yes, ma'am. You will surely see it. Well,
Very
I'm
good.
gonna swipe over here so I can see the different comments to make sure if there were any questions. So if anyone has any questions to ask Stacey, please be
Yes, please
sure
do. And
to
if you
pop
watch
it
on
in there.
replay, just let us know and we'll be
Yes.
back. We'll watch it. And
And
is there
we'll get those
anything?
comments. Let's see. Yeah, so we are all about the smoothies. Yay. And then yeah, the Freedom Kit, I think is that sold out, the Freedom Release Kit.
It is, yeah. But
Okay.
you can do the feelings, and I think the feelings kit is just as important as the freedom and
Okay.
release kit.
Okay, cool.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah.
Very cool. Yay. Well, thank you again to everyone who popped in
If I
and
jump
joined
in or
and just shared amazing, yeah, words of encouragement. Love it, love it. And so for next month, let me remember who's for next month. Oh heavens, just that quickly I forgot. But yeah, so we'll be doing this once a month as just a way to again connect with our crossline friends, talk about their stories, talk about the ways that they bring their unique talents and qualities to their business. And so I'll be sure to put in the comment section as we look through the comments. We'll respond back to you. And then I
Mhm.
think there were a couple of different resources that Stacey talked about that I'll be sure to plop in there as well. And if perchance you're watching this and you have no oily connection at all, yeah, be sure to just give a little hand wave or something and we will reach out to you, or you can message either one of us, and it's totally
Yep.
fine. Oh,
Whoever
and that's
whoever
right.
you're connected to.
Yeah, make sure that you're doing that for whomever you've got that connect with. And what's it now? Right. And then if they're wanting to follow you on Facebook or Instagram, where would they find you? Is it just Stacey Lloyd Vincent?
Um, so on Facebook, I'm Stacey Lloyd Vincent, which it should be
Mm-hmm.
showing me up in the class.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
then on Instagram, I am Stacey, Stacey Vincent, Vincent, NC, like North Carolina.
Very cool.
That's it.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'll be sure to pop that in the notes. So if you want to hop on there and follow her, you surely can. So, all right,
Yep.
everyone, have an amazing night and happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's
And
Day.
we'll be
Thank
sure
you guys
to,
so much.
yeah, we'll see you guys next month. All right. Bye.
Bye, guys.